Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we mentioned this a little bit on our live stream the other night, but there's been more to it. That Dark Phoenix, we know, bombed at the box office big time. I mean, nobody wanted this movie. They repeated a lot of the same mistakes that Last Stand.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, they had the same screenwriter. It was very ill-conceived.
I thought that was a good idea. I still can't understand.
Let's remake one of the worst X-Men movies ever.
With the same person.
With the same people.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
But it's not their fault.
It's not their fault. It's not even the Marvel Universe's fault. It's Alita's fault.
Yep.
And if you don't believe us, there are several stories out there that the media is blaming Alita for the failure of Dark Phoenix. Now, you talked to me before we recorded this video, Geeky, and you're saying this is a freaking X-Men movie. It should have been able to hold its own.
As I said, they were saying they had to shift time slots around and give Alita the other slot for, and put this one in and put Dark Phoenix in a tougher slot. It's a flippant X-Men movie franchise. It should have been able to hold its own much better than Alita, because Alita was around here. A lot of people didn't know what Alita was. I mean, a lot of diehards do, but a lot of people aren't as familiar with Alita as they are with X-Men. The fact that they had a switch on that makes sense from a business point of view. As a one of these movie franchise owners and the people putting the movies out, I would have done the same thing. X-Men, it has a much larger fan base. It could stand its own. It could stand on its own a lot easier than Alita, which is relatively unknown to people.
Yeah, so what happened is because Alita was supposed to come out in December, but Aquaman was coming out in December, Bumblebee was coming out in December, Mary Poppins, because that's going to cannibalize Alita. So they pushed Alita back to February.
Which I agree with that decision.
Right.
They would have.
It's an unknown franchise. Yes. They were all established franchises, which bumped Dark Phoenix to summer. The thing is, though, is that 10 years ago, an X-Men movie in June or July would have been the number one.
It would have been the standard.
It would have been the biggest box office hit probably that month. And that's, again, like, who wouldn't think that? Like, look at what some of the other movies, Days of Future Past and stuff, did. And
well, what I don't get is we need more women in movies. We need more female representation in movies. So you have Alita out there, it did relatively well because it goes unknown, and you slammed it first of all for Captain Marvel because you can't have two, and now you're slamming it because Dark Phoenix because you can't have three. Now Captain Marvel can stay and Dark Phoenix can stay, but whatever reason, it's always Alita's fault, always.
Yeah, everybody hates Alita. Everybody's. Now Scott Mendelson decides he's going to chime in here on Forbes. Fox and Disney sacrificed X-Men Dark Phoenix for Alita Battle Angel. And they talk about how bad it did. And this is so funny.
Maybe it's just because it's not a good movie.
It's so weird because these same outlets were like, it's going to do fine. It's going to do $170 million.
That was the right move to switch it before because it was going to do well on its own. And now that it didn't, we have to blame anybody other than people who made the movie. Yeah. It's somehow men's fault somehow. And Alita's fault in particular.
Yeah, so this is basically, they're repeating the same thing that like, oh, this movie only failed because of the timing. Not that the movie was regarded as pure shit by most reviewers. Not that the audiences hated it. But because of the timing. If this shitty movie had been released at another time of year, it would have done better.
No. Well, then you know what? You could have released it in the fall. You could have released it in the winter. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to release it in the summer. No one twisted their arm told them they had to.
Yeah, but then he even admits the film earned a better than expected $85 million in North America. That's not a guaranteed sequel, but it's a hell of a lot better than some of these other things. Yeah, Dark Phoenix flopped so severely that the New Mutants is almost sure to go straight to Hulu. This is Disney bought Fox and thus had plans for the X-Men property. It was in their best interest that Dark Phoenix not be such a super duper smash that merited a continuation with this cast and crew. No, but Disney likes to make money, and they own it all anyway, and they were going to wrap up the X-Men with this movie. That was always the plan, was to stop. Disney did not intentionally tank this movie to lose, because they're still going to lose money because Fox is theirs now. But there were some things that were done that sort of like didn't give this movie the chance it could have had. Like we talked before about how the Skrulls were originally supposed to be in it, and they took the Skrulls out of the movie because they were going to be in Captain Marvel. If
anybody tanked Dark Phoenix, I'd say it'd be Captain Marvel. But Captain Marvel walks away with no blame.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel is Disney's baby. It's the Fox X-Men universe is basically like the stepchildren versus Disney's own homegrown MCU. So they're absolutely going to, and it's unfortunate, and I apologize, I was a stepchild myself, but they're absolutely going to favor the biological children over the stepkids in this case. And, and I won't use the redhead stepchild metaphor.
I hate
Geeky, because, that she was the redheaded stepchild.
I'm not a stepchild.
I know. But no, there were a lot of things going on. It was, there was talks it was supposed to be a 2-movie epic, which again, with a story as big as the Dark Phoenix saga, to do it right, to do it justice, given how long it was in the comics, you need those cosmic elements. You need it to be a big story with a lot of breathing room, and it just seemed like they just kind of rushed it, threw it together. There were a lot of reshoots, and got it out the door just to say, yep, we're done.
Yeah.
X-Men's over. This X-Men is over. Let's move on to the MCU.
Yes, but no, we can't. No, it's all Alita's fault.
But it's all Alita's fault. It's all Alita's fault. This is so freaking stupid. This is just the media hates Alita. They freaking hate.
Well, you know
Alita.
why we're gonna blame it on Alita? Because Alita's gonna be out on DVD soon. Blu-ray and digital. It's gonna be out pretty soon. So let's piss on it now and make everybody hate it.
Well, let's talk about that. Whose movie came out later and whose movie hit Blu-ray before Alita? Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel came out in March, toward the end of March, and it's already out on Blu-ray because they're pushing it like crazy now. Alita came out the middle of February. It's not coming out until the end of July. So it's almost like Disney is playing keep away, because I don't think they expected Alita to do as well as it did. And as far as many science fiction fans are concerned, Alita was the vastly superior movie.
So much so that all the blogs had to turn around and find problems with every little thing, including chest size.
Her body type. They found a problem with her body type. And in any other universe, Alita would have been the movie they rooted for, because it features a diverse cast. It features a strong female lead. It's an anime-based movie. It's non-conventional.
Well, let's compare it to Captain Marvel, because they have their diverse... No. They have their strong female... Oh, wait. It's non-anime.
Captain Marvel, blonde-haired white woman, Captain Karen.
Who wasn't even a star in her own film.
She wasn't
Pretty
even,
much.
yeah, she wasn't. She was reacting to all the better actors
The
in
Cat and Nick Fury were the stars of her films.
Yeah, it was Nick Fury's movie. It was Nick Fury's movie.
It was a good Nick Fury movie.
It was a good Nick Fury movie.
Minus the whole cat or the eye thing, but
yeah,
it was a good Nick Fury
very
movie
disappointing to find out that's how that
I
happened.
thought they would do more with it when they got to the end game, and they didn't.
No.
So it was like that was just
there was zero time wasted. Like, you could skip Captain Marvel and it would ruin nothing for Endgame. I mean, she was in it for
hardly in the Endgame either.
Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, and then Thanos flicks her off like an insect, and that's
basically to make sure she got the Karen haircut. And
the
then
Karen haircut. That's why she's. But we have Alita, played by a Latina woman, directed by a Latino man. With James Cameron as producer, but you think they would be rooting for this movie. Strong female lead. She is definitely the star.
A
in her
truly
movie.
diverse character.
Yeah, and she is definitely the star of her movie. Unlike Captain Marvel, where she was just reacting to things, Alita actually is. She is this movie, and yeah.
I'm just saying, the Blu-ray and that's coming out right now. Captain Marvel. Well, we don't want people to wait for Alita, so let's just poop on Alita now. How can we drag Alita in this to drag Alita through the mud before her Blu-ray comes out?
How can we drag Alita through the mud? Because we know any criticism of Alita gets the man babies all hot and bothered, and they're gonna
because the person
click on
they
our
should be
articles.
the movie they should be blaming for the sacrifice to X-Men isn't the it should be Captain Marvel. It's not about the time frame. An X-Men movie should have been able to hold its own at this time of year. The problem is they changed the story because they took out the characters that would have made the Dark Phoenix saga a better story to give it to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So honestly, why it might be a story that doesn't hold its own is more to do with that kind of thing than it is the timing release.
Blame Carol, not Alita.
I'm
for
just
the
saying.
failure.
Or how
of the
about even
Dark
better?
Phoenix.
Why don't you blame the people who made the movie? Because if your movie sucked, that's on you. You can't blame it on another movie that did better than you.
Yeah.
It's like, I suck because so and so did better than me. That doesn't even make sense.
Oh God, what a cluster! But yeah, again, this is a movie nobody really wanted. I mean, after Apocalypse, you know, I think they needed to, you know, they had to think through the X-Men franchise a little bit better because Apocalypse was a dud. Now, the first two and the First Class reboot were actually very, very good.
They were.
Apocalypse was very mediocre.
It was,
Yep, not as bad as Dark Phoenix from what I've heard. I have no desire to see. I don't want to see this story done again. The only way they could do this right is if they build up to it, kind of like Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity War.
It's too big of a story to have done it the way they did. It wasn't going to work just for the fact how they did it. And I mean, something like that would have taken 2 movies anyway.
Yeah,
just like
or
they
a trilogy.
Did, yeah, just like they did with the Infinity War.
Yeah.
There's no way you could shoehorn that one movie and then they take major character parts out of it.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to do bad. And then basically, from what I'm hearing, it's pretty much the same thing as The Last Stand.
A lot of the same, yeah. From my understanding, again, I have not seen it, but from what I understand, a lot of the same problems that The Last Stand had, Dark Phoenix had, because you can't do this story justice in a small way. It has to be a big galactic thing, and they're just not doing it justice. So, yeah, but it's not Alita's fault. Alita is a good girl. It is not Alita's fault.
Right. Stop blaming everything on Alita stop blaming your inadequacies on Alita for everything.
Alita did nothing wrong.
They'll find a way to blame it on Alita every time. It's funny to me.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're going to wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been The Young and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.